Hi guys, welcome to the UEBC 2022 hosted by JPS here in Melbourne, Australia. I am joined by the wonderful Sophie Allen, who has just wrapped up her presentation on harnessing social media to kind of progress and further your brand and business. So Sophie, first off, I just wanted to get your thoughts on some advice you might give to someone who's using social media but maybe doesn't have much confidence or experience. What would your advice be on where to start with this kind of content creation and using the platform itself?
I think because it can be so overwhelming, it's important to just get clear on what exactly their goals are with social media. A lot of people think it's like, oh, I want to get a following, but you might also want to build a community or build a personal brand or promote your business. Once you have an idea of what you're doing, then think about some categories that you want to post within. Like maybe you have a fitness niche, maybe you want to speak about training, nutrition, mindset, education. And then once you've got a bit of a framework around what you want to be speaking about, it's going to help you come up with ideas and have a bit of a plan. But I think the more plan and structure you have, you're going to feel more confident in the content you're going to put out there. I think a lot of people think they're going to post content and it's going to blow up and they're going to grow really quickly, and they get really frustrated when it takes quite a while to build and grow and sort of lose that momentum because they're like, oh, it's not working. But continuously like trying and testing content and seeing what works for you and not being disheartened by the fact that maybe heaps of people won't comment or follow just yet. And then, yeah, figuring out editing is like a whole other thing, but you do get better at it and it does get easier. And there's so much information out there to like learn and teach yourself, and courses as well.
Do you have any kind of go-to resources for learning about editing, or maybe do you have anyone that you kind of take inspiration from? Are there any kind of particular mistakes you see people make with editing? Some advice you can give on that front?
Yeah. I used to watch YouTube a little bit and I would get some style inspiration. For me, my sort of personal editing style is to cut out all the gaps in between, like all the pauses and gaps in between. So when I'm just speaking really quickly and getting the message across, and that's what works really well for me. Um, there are so many different ways that you can edit. There's like transitions you can use within apps or when you're filming it. I think people need to remember that whilst they're getting a message across, they're also trying to entertain and keep people like wanting to watch and consume their content. So thinking about ways that you can make it fun and engaging, try different angles, different heights, different locations and environments. People will see the same environment over and over again and they'll get bored from seeing the same thing. So mixing that up as well. But then consistency also, if you're shooting in the same gym, is going to be really helpful for people to know that that's your content that you're seeing. But there are so many like YouTube videos on how to edit or editing styles. Personally, I'm just self-taught. Like I just downloaded the app InShot, which is a free app that people can download. And I just learned and figured it out. If there was anything I didn't know, I would just Google it.
Sure, sure. And do you think there's any space to maybe kind of not necessarily rip off someone's work, but maybe take some ideas? Say if someone's struggling with some originality, they feel like, oh, I don't have any good ideas. Do you think there's a space for maybe looking at what someone else has done, maybe trying to take elements of that and use it in your own work?
Definitely. Like, I think no idea is original, and all the same creators are putting out really similar content. And the point of difference is really you and your take on it and how you communicate it. So you can definitely draw inspiration. I sometimes do that. Often my ideas will come from people asking me questions and DMing me and saying, oh, this is my struggle, or putting a question box out there and saying, what do you struggle with? And that helps to create the content that I'm going to put out there. But if you don't have a following and people responding to you and asking questions, then you're like, oh, what can I think of? If you have clients, what are their struggles? Or what are your personal struggles and what have you overcome? But you can see, like, you can even look outside of your niche and be like, oh, what editing style is that food creator using, or that fashion creator using, or, are there ideas that people have done that I can put my own spin and twist on? So I think you can definitely draw inspiration from others. Just don't flat out rip it off. And if you're going to do something very similar, like credit them.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I like that. So really just to end out this conversation, I just wanted to, you've had some time to think about this now, we'll just put that out there. If you, let's say you've pulled an Elon Musk, decided to take over Instagram for whatever reason, had complete control, if you had to make 3 changes to the platform, what would you do and why?
All right, I think I would put less emphasis on video. They're obviously pushing Reels a lot to compete with TikTok. And I think what made the app really special was people showing images. And a lot of people aren't showing images now because they know that Reels are performing better.
Yep.
So it's lost a bit of its like, you know, what made it what it
Selling
is
point.
today. Yeah. And I know a lot of people will post like the photo dump where it's like, here's my weekend photo dump, but it just doesn't perform as well. So people are less inclined to do it. I love it how you said I had all this time to think about, and I have not been thinking
It's okay.
about things.
Maybe if we go 2, what would you? We've got one more change you'd make.
Oh, I think.
What don't you like? Is there anything that you're really like? Every time I go on Instagram, I'm like, damn, I wish that wasn't a thing, or I wish that was this.
Look, it depends if I'm looking at it from a like financial perspective, or
Let's
like
look
if
at it
I'm the
from
CEO.
a content creation.
Consumer,
you're being
consumer
original.
perspective.
For
Yeah.
sure.
I think the other thing I would have them do, I think that just making it, and I'm sure they're going to do this, just making it easier to edit and create content within the app. At the moment, it's pretty good, but it would be so much, you know, you'll create content and then it'll like crash and then the content's gone and you're like, this is so annoying. Maybe some easier ways to manage like your inbox. Maybe they could have like an inbuilt content calendar so it posts it live for you and manages it a bit more. Just some more like little tools to make it easier. But yeah, there's a lot of businesses out there that you can plug into Instagram to do that for you.
Okay, so there you have it, guys. Once again, I think that's probably all we have time for today. But as I was saying, thank you, Sophie, for taking the time to sit down with me and for a wonderful presentation. Guys, if you missed the UEBC in person, stay tuned on the JPS socials for the replay, which will be available very soon. By all means, check out Sophie's Instagram and TikTok, whatever platforms it might be on. It's all great stuff and it's all out there for you guys to see. Thank you again, Sophie, and we will see you next time.
Thank you.